This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Rabbi Yosef Engel, in the Hachnasas, the Masechta Shabbos, Kuf Chav Zayin Amud Aleph, brings an astounding Chiddush from the Maharil. The Gemara in Shabbos on Daf Kuf Chav Zayin says, "Gedola Hachnasas Orchim me'akpalas pnei Shechina." Greater is inviting guests than beholding and receiving the countenance of the Shechina. Shenemar Vayeira Adoi Noi. That Avram Avinu was addressing God, and he said, "Rebbeinu Shalom, wait for me while I go and greet the guests." From here we see greeting guests is more valuable than even greeting HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In fact, the Chafetz Chaim in the Avas Chesed writes halacha l'maisa that if someone's on their way to shul and guests come, and there's nobody who could appropriately welcome them, it is more important to welcome guests even than going to shul. Based on this Gemara, Gedola Hachnasas Orchim Yoser mehakpalas pnei Shechina. Says the Maharil in his Likutei Dinim in Ois Samach that whenever we talk about Hachnasas Orchim, it's only welcoming wealthy, honorable people. Welcoming them b'derech kavod, honoring them b'sever panim yafais, and preparing tafnukim for them. And the proof is from Avram Avinu that he thought these malachim were guests, and he shechted for them 3 oxen to feed them tongue with mustard. But regular hachnasas orchim, that's not a mitzvah of hachnasas orchim. That's tzedakah. Now tzedakah is a great mitzvah, but when we talk about hachnasas orchim is only to the rich. Now this is a very big chiddush. And this is the Chiddush of the Maharil, that when somebody feeds and houses somebody who needs it because they can't afford it, or they don't have adequate lodging or food, that's a great mitzvah, but it's not the mitzvah of Hachnasas Orchim. Hachnasas Orchim is only to the wealthy. Now this may not make people feel too good, but this is his psak. This is the psak of the Maharil. In the Toras Ha'asham, which is the commentary of the Tosfos Yom Tif, on the Torah Sachatas, in Klal Tezvav Din Gimel, he brings this psak of the Maharil lahalacha, that Hachnasas Orchim is only for the Ashirim and the Mechubadim who are Ro'i L'Kavod. Comes the Shaus of Shvus Yaakov in his Kuntris Soiles Lemincha Belula B'Shemen. Klal Tezvav Din Gimel, which is printed at the end of the Torah Sachatas, in the footnotes of the Shvus Yaakov to the Minchas Yaakov on the Torah Sachatas. So the Minchas Yaakov was written by the Shvus Yaakov, and it's a commentary on the Torah Sachatas. And on the footnotes in the Minchas Yaakov called Kuntris Soilos the Mincha V'lo B'Shemen, he asks on this Maharil that Avram Avinu thought that these were Arabs. He thought they were regular Oivdei Avodah Zarah, and still he honored them. So don't we see that Hachnasas Orchim applies to the poor as well? But in the new edition of the Tiferes Yosef, which is a wonderful collection on Rabbi Yosef Engel by Yedidi Reb Tzvi HaKoyen Friedman, he brings that if you look in the source of the Maharil, which is the Medrash on our Parsha, Memches Tes, Avram Avinu considered that even though these were Arbiyim, but these were Anoshim Mechubadim, Anoshim Chashuvim, and this would be the basis of the psak of the Maharil, that the mitzvah of Hachnasas Orchim is specifically defined as greeting and welcoming and honoring the wealthy and the honorable. Again, it is certainly a mitzvah to house and to greet and to welcome and to honor the poor. But that's not the mitzvah of Hachnasas Orchim according to the Maharil. That is just the mitzvah of tzedakah. Wishing everyone a great Shabbos.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.